Well, if you got a dollar, well, just lousy down. Know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine. You can take or leave me, but you ain't got much time, 'cause I just keep on rolling down the line.
To start things out, we're going to celebrate the armed forces. And what I have here are sets of flat matchbook covers. So these would have, as you can see, once held matches. They have been opened up, matches removed. You can still see the strikers on here. And these were a part of a collection that I picked up at an estate sale. And to be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure what to do with them. Doing some research, discovered that some of them individually, and I do have some Huckster matchbooks, sometimes can sell individually, and they can, collect some decent money because people like, specific locations. I pulled them into little sets because I thought they were just kind of fun and would make for a cool vignette edition for a military themed 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. So great colors. And, if there are some locations, people might want to collect them. So these are going to be sets of 3. I just, basically did random sets. So they are set the way I have. Don't mix and match. But you get the set of 3 for $10. And if you do set A, you get Fort Barrancas, which was an Army base in Florida. You also get another Florida Army Air Force's Advanced Flying School. And just, I love the illustrations on some of these because they're matchbooks. Sometimes they're going to be upside down because they would have been folded. So this is from Marianna, Florida, so different location than the other one. And then Camp Atterbury, Indiana, with some, let's see, that's the doctor. Let's see, we got the artillery, citadel, looks like cannon. Not sure what the other symbols are for. Shillelaghs, I'm sure that's something else. But anyway, so you get this set of 3 for $10 by giving me match A. Match B gets you the Roswell Army Airfield, again with some fantastic illustrations of the bombers. You also get the Camp Atterbury, also with, this is a different one than the other, but it also has some of these symbols. So I'm not sure what the Army Camp Atterbury did in Indiana. And then check out the Marine Corps Air Station with this fantastic, from Eagle Mountain Lake, with this fantastic illustration of a bomber on this one as well, marked for the U.S. Marines. That one is set match B. And then match C, you get this Marines. Check out the illustration of the bell. This is from Camp, I was going to say Pendleton, but it is, Camp Pendleton, Rancho Santa Margarita, Oceanside, California. You also get the Hamilton, Texas 23rd Army Air Forces with, again, some illustrations of some great bombers. And the Merchant Marine. This is the only Merchant Marine one I have. So this is the Merchant Marine Cadet Basic School. This was in Pass Christian, Mississippi. And check out the illustration of their building. That set of 3 would be match C, and that would also be $10. So start things out with some military-themed matchbook covers. The next item I'm offering is a collection of postcards, and these are just going to be sold as a lot. There are 8 postcards here, and these are all themed to Tennessee monuments. So you got Chickamauga and Chattanooga. This one has Lookout Mountain and Chickamauga Park. Some are the Shiloh battlefield, the Wisconsin Monument near Chattanooga, Chickamauga Park. All of these are unused. There is one real photo postcard, and that's this one, the Michigan Monument at Shiloh Battlefield, Tennessee. The Minnesota Monument, also in Shiloh, Pittsburgh Landing, Tennessee. I picked these all up as part of a set, and once upon a time, these were all sold for quite a bit. $5, $7, $4. The real photo postcard was marked at $12. I'm selling this entire set of 8 postcards for $10. So just a little over $1 a postcard. And these are all, again, some of them are a different range. The photo postcard is probably the oldest one. This one is maybe one of the newer ones, but all of these are going to have some age on them. Oh, and I take that back. This one actually was used. So this one actually was pre-printed. So I am now sitting at General Grant's chair that he used in 1863. So this was still the postmark on it, and signed from Alice Jackson. Can't actually see the year that one was sent. But great collection, great, for a Veterans Day sale. We don't have any veterans around from the Civil War, but we've got a great collection because there are still some great monuments in Tennessee. And that is a Tennessee collection, $10 by giving me Tennessee. Probably should have put some more rhyme or reason into the order that some of these sales are going to be done, because we've gone from the Civil War, which is probably the oldest I have that we're putting into the Veterans Day sale, to World War II, which I think is actually the most recent. I don't think I have anything after World War II in this sale. This is a magazine, kind of almost book, but it is in magazine format. And what's interesting about this is that it's copyrighted in 1942. And if we all dust off our history book memory banks, the United States didn't even enter the war until after Pearl Harbor in December of 1941. So this book was published right after that. It's already saying 3 years of war because, dusting off a different portion of your memory banks, we didn't enter until after December 1941, but the war started when Germany invaded Poland in 1939. So this does go into the fact that the war had been going on for a while, even though we weren't participating in it. And it is a fantastic journalism, photographic representation of what's been going on. So like right there, beginning of the book, Germany invades Poland. So you've got photographic representation of what's been going on. Pretty much all of these photographs are going to be of foreign soldiers because the United States, I guess, by the time it was printed, I guess some of us might have been in there, but a lot of these pictures may have been older than that. So mobilization, Warsaw confusion, the suburbs of Warsaw, I guess a little bit of trigger warning. I'm going to talk about World War II. We're going to have a flag that pops up every once in a while. Trench mortar, bound for Germany. So again, just some absolutely fantastic photographs. And it's a fairly good-sized magazine. And it is chock full of photography. So this is just absolutely a fantastic collectible for anyone who is just into military history. Again, we're kind of running out of World War II veterans, but as the famous saying goes, those who fail to learn their history are doomed to repeat it. So this is just a great little piece. It is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of wear, the corners, but given its age, probably not too surprising. So it's 3 years of war. I say it's a magazine, but as you saw as I flipped through, there are no ads. So this is really just a photographic representation. It is a great piece. I couldn't find any others like this one. So this one, based on what I paid for it, is going to be $20 for the term, I guess, just say war magazine, and you'll get it for 20 bucks. This next item is one of my favorites out of everything that I'm offering today, and this is all going to be one lot. And what this is shouldn't be a huge surprise why I like it. First of all, it's a catalog, so it's a huckster item. It is a huckster item promoting books, and if you know, my full-time gig is actually selling in the publishing industry, so it's kind of a perfect connection. And it also has some amazing age to it. So initially, I couldn't quite figure out how old this was. I knew it had some age, and some of the representations on it, like it had to have been pretty old. But I did, went through, kept trying to find something. I had the order form on here, with the prices. You could buy all these little pamphlets. You could buy 100 of them for $1 or 1,000 of them for $8. So it's like, well, okay, this has to be a while ago. And I finally found one little reference. This manual for medical officers was due to be received from the press in February 1918. So this catalog is probably from late 1917 or very early 1918, to the point that they had to put that in there because at the time you would have placed your order, the book didn't exist yet. So it's Banta's catalog of military books, standard text and reference books. Got this on the back. You can also see a little bit of condition on that back flap. It looks like it got bent or got caught in something. But as you go through the catalog, it includes all the different publications that Banta's, and I think they were based in Wisconsin, if I remember correctly, and the different books that they offered. Riot Duty, Self-Helps for the Citizen Soldier, Spanish for Soldiers, Soldier's Foot and Military Shoe. That would be a real barn burner. The Mounted Rifleman, Military Training for Boys. So again, all military themed. So again, a great veteran-themed item, and just absolutely love this piece. And then as part of it, this was part of it when I picked it up, these little slips. And they look like they were just like little separate order forms. I'm not sure, I guess they would have been sent with the little catalog. Maybe if you went away for the catalog, you got these as well. And so, military aviation. And then you just said, you know, enclosed fine X dollars for copies of military aviation. So you could just submit orders for these individual books as well. So I'm not sure if these are from later dates, because there's military aviation. There's one in here about machine guns. I don't know, you know, how much of that was still in 1917, 1918, but I'm not sure. You know, revised edition on machine guns. So maybe these are a little bit later, but the fact that the catalog has that 1918 date in, and there's also references to other books that are talking about things from early 1900 that just, you know, it makes sense that that's when this was done. Super cool piece. It is $10 for the entire lot, and you get that by giving me Banta. Gets you this entire lot for $10. I've got more postcards here. This time we're going back into the Civil War. We're going to honor the Civil War with, these are all Gettysburg. These are all Gettysburg postcards. So I created little lots because some of these have some, they're not identical duplicates, but you can see in some cases the photo itself or what was being photographed is the same. So I created little sets of these. Again, I don't think any of these have been posted, but this is going to be sets of 4 postcards each, and each set will be $5. So you get these by giving me Gettysburg S, Gettysburg T, or Gettysburg U. If you give me Gettysburg S for $5, you get the high water mark of the rebellion, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And then I just realized this is just a different view of that, of the high water mark. So that this little table here off on the side. So one's more of a broad view, one's a close up. You then also get this, which was the Soldiers' National Monument at Gettysburg, as well as the statue of John Burns at Gettysburg. And this is the only batch that has that photograph in it. Then you have another view of that high water mark, another view of the monument. And then this one gets you a split of the Irish Brigade Monument and the Father Corby statue, as well as kind of an illustration of something. Made in Germany. Doesn't say what this is. But you can see once upon a time, this was sold for $10 by itself. And now it is part of Gettysburg T. You get all 4 of those for $5. And if you give me Gettysburg U, you get, again, this is the same. Oh, this is what it says. Major General George Meade and staff. So this is the same picture that was over in T. This one just happens to have what it is. And then you get the State Monument, New York State Monument at the cemetery. You get, again, the National Monument, and again, the high water, although this one doesn't, oh yeah, it does, high water mark of the rebellion. So that set of 4 cards is also $5. Again, Gettysburg S, T, and U gets you 4 cards out of each set for $5 each. I also have a larger lot of Gettysburg cards, and these are all sold together as one lot. This is 9 cards for $10. So this would be Gettysburg D, and then you get all of these. And what I did was I separated out, since there weren't as many duplicates, this goes into Gettysburg, the town, as opposed to Gettysburg, the monuments. So there's still some connection to the Civil War. So we still have an illustration at the McPherson barn. You also I had one leftover monument card, so I threw that in here of the New York State Monument. The observation tower on Oak Ridge. We've got Memorial Church of the Prince of Peace. So some of these buildings existed at the time of the Civil War. So it's just a mix. So you get 9 of these cards. This is Jenny Wade House and Monument. And again, some of these individual cards were selling, $3, $4, $5, $7. So at once upon a time, if these were all sold separately, probably could get a lot more for them, but happy to include them in the Veterans Day sale. For Gettysburg D, you get all 9 of these postcards for $10. The next 2 items are falling into, I don't know if you want to call them brochures, catalogs. These 2 come together. These will each of these lots will be $10. So this one will be, let's just say, brochure F. This is instructions from the War Department. You can see it's dated 1923. Instruction dismounted with rifle and automatic rifle for the soldier. And then there's another one for infantry. And you can see these would have been held in some sort of a binder. Instruction of recruit. As soon as practical, the recruit is taught the use, care, and nomenclature of the rifle. And so you've got a great illustration of a World War I era soldier. So you've got the wrappings on the legs. It's a military guide, so there's just some cool illustration in here. We don't have any World War I veterans left anymore, but it's just a great piece of history talking about how they were trained, in some cases in print form, the different proper uses of, in this case, the rifle. And then for the infantry one, you can see this one's a little bit thicker. Let's see how you can see it here. See, one's a little bit thicker than the other. The infantry one is a little bit thicker. So this one appears to be more like troop movements from columns of squads. And again, these are 100 years old. This is military instruction in World War I. I'm assuming it's a little different now, but maybe it's not. I have no idea. So this is just, again, just a really cool piece. I just couldn't pass picking this up because, somebody with military history, military interest, the fact that these came out of the War Department in 1923, yeah, both of them were in 1923, just, some perfect, literally 100 years old. And then this piece is actually about the same age because this is also World War I. This will be brochure G. And what this is, and unfortunately I'm showing it right here, it at some point got folded maybe into an envelope or something, so there's a big crease on the bottom. So I don't know, maybe it can be pressed out. But this is a brochure that explains the YMCA, and it's all specific to the Y in 1918. So this was World War I, and it talks about why you should donate to the YMCA. So this is a typical hut, is the home for the boys over there. A lot of references in this one specifically talk about France. So it must have been distributed somehow or somehow related to the time that our soldiers were in France. I'm assuming it was distributed though here because it's a lot of discussion is about our boys over there. But it's also some really cool history because there's a bunch of stuff in here that I didn't know. One, about the history itself. But this one, when your boy is on furlough, so furlough is when you get a break, from your military duty. It says Frenchman can go home, Englishman leaps the first boat across the channel, but for the American boy 3,000 miles from the folks he loves, he has no home to turn to. So what the YMCA did was they rented out hotels in France. So they would find these, hotels, estates, whatever, that no longer had tourism, and so it costs a lot of money to rent these resorts. So it's, it's basically not a ploy, didn't mean it that way, but a request to get money because what the YMCA did was help out the soldiers when they were overseas in all of these different ways. So it's a super cool, again, snapshot in time. It's 14, 15, 16 pages long. So it's not like super, super long, but all the pages have these cool little illustrations on them. And then this little story about the YMCA. So just a fantastic little piece. So just going to use brochure. Brochure F gets you both of the military instruction manuals. Manuals probably be better. And then brochure G gets you the YMCA, $10 for each lot. So much of what I have for this Veterans Drop Sale is so old, I'm struggling to be able to show it because some of it already has some damage. I don't want to make it any worse. So right off the bat, I'm including this book. So the book is on land, sea, and in the air. The covers have been completely separated. So, getting that out of the way. The book itself is still bound. So it's actually still stitched together. But you can see the book itself looks like there might be a page here that's separate. But the text of the book is still here. It is copyrighted 1919. So again, we've got a book that's over 100 years old. But what this book has is color illustrations of the war effort in World War I. So there we got them that time. You've got an artillery fire that's been colorized with, it looks like a photograph on an illustration because that can't be a photograph with that sky. There's just some amazing, the bulldog and the swallow, the hydro airplane is circling around over the giant dreadnought, Pennsylvania. I don't even know what a dreadnought is. There's just some amazing photography in this. It's unfortunate that the book has fallen out of its cover. It probably could be repaired. Unfortunately, though, where the future of this book probably lies is actually framing these full page illustrations because they're fantastic. Looks like we got a little bit of a tear there, trying to give you a good representation of what this book includes. I've kind of gone back and forth on this because, just check that out, because of the damage. The fact of the matter is these illustrations are they're fantastic. On fire and plunging to the ground, but under control and still full of fight. Just look at the way they represented that with the skull and crossbones on the front of the plane. Again, this is World War I era. These illustrations, this is a 2-page illustration. This book is available as is, but again, fantastic illustrations and or photography, as well as the story that goes along with it. And I am going to say you get the book for $15. So $15, say Land and Sea or something to let you know this is the one you want. This is the book you get for $15. It was published by the Donahue and Company. And again, a great piece of history with let us learn about World War I. All right, and these are the ones I was most nervous about showing. So what I'll do is I'll do my best to showcase what these are, and I will tell you I have many, many more. So if you are interested in these are all gonna be $10 each. These are just midweek, and we've got M, N, and O. And what these are New York Times midweek pictorials. M is from 1916, N is from 1917, and O is from 1918. So I just happen to pull one from each year to keep this simple. These are in rough condition because they are all over 100 years old. So in most cases, the cover has been split. Some of the pages are loose, but they are all still complete. So all the pages are here. So I'm going to show you what these are, and each one is going to give you a different set of pictures inside. But these are all, because they are interwar era publications, these are all representing illustrations from within the war. So this is M that I'm showing. I'm going to cover N so you don't get confused. And trying to figure out how to turn the page so I don't tear this. This is a good representation of what you see in all of these. These are all photographs from what is going on, because again, these are from the New York Times. So these are all photographs that would have been collected by the New York Times as part of their news cycle that are then collected into these little midweek pictorial inserts. And in some cases, the photographs are small, like this, where there's multiples to a page. Or you get things like this, where you have an entire photograph on the front of the Franco-British offensive, the thunder of guns never ceases. I'm not sure what that thing's supposed to represent or who that represents. The French, what is this one? French soldiers hiding in shell holes. Watch the explosions of the big shells of the Allied bombardment. So you get photographs like that. And then in some cases, so then you get the articles. I'm going to try and turn to the center, because in some cases you get a center fold, which is a 2-page spread. These are some more photographs. More photographs. Maybe this one doesn't have a centerfold, because I think that's the centerfold. Because there's the string. Let's see, let me do one more. Okay, so that one did not look like it had a centerfold. So this center page just was 2 pages. Some of them have, check that out. It's gorgeous. The village of Metzeral in the Vosges Mountain under fire of the German guns. Just the way that that one was photographed. So you've got personal interest, latest addition to the ranks of the Allies, big photograph on the, or big illustration on the back, Tales from Flanders. So that is all M, and you can see a little bit of paper. It's very, very, very brittle. This is N. I'm gonna see if I can jump straight to the middle. This seems to be in slightly better condition. The spine is in slightly better condition. Let's see if I can get to the middle and see if we have a centerfold. We do. So this is the centerfold to N. So it's the Reims Cathedral, now a ruin beyond all hope of restoration. And you can tell it's a centerfold piece because down here, this one photo crosses the fold. So the M 1916 one was a string. This is actually a stapled version. So you do have a centerfold that it's not as big. Some of them, the entire picture is a centerfold. So I'll jump over to O, just show some really quick photographs of O. This is the 1918 version, and see if what we get as a centerfold. This one also has a staple binding, and looks like it's again slightly better condition than the one from 1916 because it's not nearly as old. And okay, it does have a centerfold, the one picture, but they're small photographs. So this one doesn't have, a super big one. So again, they're all going to be military themed. They're all talking about World War I because these are literally the news representations at the time. They're just fantastic. The articles are written by the New York Times, reporters, so they're well written. And again, as a history, as a study for someone with military history, remember World War I, you've got a great piece. So if you like these and you're interested, this midweek M, N, or O gets you these for $10 each. And I have probably 20 others. So if you want more, let me know and I can walk you through the other ones that I have. But for now, I'm gonna stop with these because I have to clean up.
Give me a good deal on something I can use. Make me an offer that I just can't refuse. When that sunrise in the morning and there's nothing there to do, will probably be the last time I see you. Woo-hoo! I hope I can abide by your area code, and I'm bound to wander down that endless road. Well, if I had a dime for every time I felt this way, I'd have $1 million and a couple bucks in change. Sure was nice to know you. Oh, maybe I'll catch you on a New York train. or maybe I'll never see your face again.